Hello, this is Grandma's Gone Gaming. I'm bringing you episode 5, which will be a short episode of the February 2017 Minecraft Hardcore Challenge by Michael Deering. It's called Ice Plains Survival. Now, I had to divide this up because I did my full 20 minutes for episode 4 and didn't realize that my action software had simply shut itself off right in the middle of recording. I started it, saw the red light go up, and just went on talking. When I came out, it had shut itself off and had recorded about a second or two. So it wasn't any good. So I quickly jumped in and did half of the day, got into half of day 4, so that you could see what I did. I showed how I got the iron, and I went into the hole down here and went across to where Scotty found his diamonds and gold, and I picked those up. And I now have a clock and a couple more pieces of iron in here, which I'll throw in with these, and I have my diamonds. So I think I'll go ahead and make boots. I think I'm all right with what I have there, and I'm going to make the... Let's turn these into sticks. I'm going to make that diamond pick right here. I'm going to put that away somewhere, and then I'm going to combine these two, and I'll be good with those for a little bit. And I'm going to mostly fish the rest of this night away, and I'll tell you some more stuff about what I have written about Alaska. Okay, next. Whoops, no, I do need to be in here. I'm going to make my boots. There we go. Now I have half of my armor. Feel a little bit airy there in the middle. Okay, we're going to stick this up here out of the way, and here, and there. Okay, I have plenty of torches, and I'm going to go ahead and do some fishing. And I can do that. I think I can anyway, right here. Should not be a problem. And obviously my wheat is growing well, so I'll be getting that pretty soon here. Alright, so the other thing I want to talk to you about is now going into May and June in Alaska. And, we've already talked about the snow, we've talked about breakup, and we've talked about the spring and the beautiful colors of the spring, soft, gentle colors and breezes. And, oh, there we have enough for a loaf of bread. Hooray. So, in the summertime, what do? I mean, by the time we get to summer, it is pretty much the midnight sun. By the time you get to the end of June, June is the longest day. June, what is it? 21st is the longest day of the year. There we go. Let's get that one. Yay. And so it's usually a midnight sun festival in whatever town where you live. And we used to go in June to, my dad would we had a small cruiser after the earthquake. Before that, he would go with other people. But they would go out in the bay and go get clams. Now, these are not like your Washington razor clams. There are razor clams in Alaska. The razor clams in Alaska are much larger than the clams you're going to find just about anywhere else. You're finding like 3 to 5 inch razor clams, where some of the ones that you find down in Washington, I know, are like maybe 3 inches, 4 inches at the most. Everything's bigger up there in Alaska. And so they would bring butter clams, and I'm trying to think what the names of the other ones are that they used to get. The great big ones that are like 4 inches across. And my dad they would go the day before for the festival, and a lot of, all of the guys would go, and they would all bring buckets of clams home, and then everybody had their special recipes. And Daddy was, I think I mentioned in other videos, that he was a member of the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars, having been over in World War II, in the division that was right behind Patton. So he actually did stuff for Patton at times. But at any rate, he was in the VFW, and he ran things like the 4th of July and the things that we did to celebrate for patriotic things. Come on, need some more fish here. Or something besides fish would be good even. So for the longest day of the year, when he brought the clams home, he would bring in his buckets, and he would put oatmeal in the bottom. And when the clams then, it would be dark and quiet, and they would come out and they would eat the oatmeal. And as they eat the oatmeal, then they process all the grit and the sand that's inside, and they spit it out. And so then when you cook the clams, you don't get there. Come on, come on, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. With a bowl. How nice. Okay. And now I can make fish soup maybe, right? And so the clams would be just yummy. And the little ones, the big ones, medium-sized ones, and once in a while they'd have some razor clams too. But it would be a clam feed for the entire town, and tourists involved that always would come to the big festivals like that too. So that's what we would do then. But during May and June, that's when you start seeing the wild colors. You get the wildflowers. There are so many gorgeous wildflowers in Alaska. Oh gosh. I mentioned the willows that are, some of them are the creeping willows. Well, they in the fall are going to have their own colors, but they are the bright greens of summer now. And we would go up to into the pass, Thompson Pass. During the summers when I was growing up, we would also get ice every time we'd go up there. But there is a lake up there near the top of the pass that is called Blueberry Lake. And all around it there are cushions of the ground cover plants, which there are lowbush blueberries, there are crowberries, there are those willows all over the place, there are bigger bushes out in further places, and you do get a few of the wild roses up that way, but there aren't not a lot of wild roses in the Valdez and mountain areas there. You kind of have to get out a little bit more past the pass area, but you get a few. And as you're going up the hills to the lake and to the pass, which I started to say we would go get glacier ice there up by the lake. We would picnic up there at the lake usually, and then pick our buckets full when it would be time, because those low bush cranberry blueberries, not the cranberries, the blueberries and the crowberries would be growing in late June even, which is a little earlier than a lot of the others. And so then we would also get glacier ice for our freezer. We did not have electricity, and so we would, Daddy would pack boxes with straw or hay or even cardboard, newspapers, anything to just insulate the boxes a little bit. And he would get a couple of big chunks. You'd have to take a pickaxe and a wedge and break the ice off. And that glacier ice is hard and cold, cold, cold. Really, really cold. So he would do that. Always wear gloves, because you don't want to be touching that stuff for more than a couple of seconds, if that long. Because you get freezer burns real fast. So he would get the ice, and then we would take it home. And it's blue ice. It's just gorgeous. And it would keep our stuff warm all summer long. Cold, all summer long. And better than most refrigerators would. So we had a big old, what do you call it, chest type freezer that had been given to us that the electric didn't work on it anymore, and my dad had said, we don't have electricity, so how about if I just take it off your hands? And he did. So yeah. And so you also get in May, you get the wildflowers. You get lupin, blue lupin. It comes in all sorts of different shades than blue. Actually, it's still called blue lupin as far as I know, but you get pink, and you get blue, and you get purple, and occasionally you even get the yellow ones, and they are just gorgeous. They start coming up pretty much when the spring flowers do, and then they get really tall, and a lot of them will grow close to the lakes. Oh, we're almost at day 5 here. And so then we have the iris, which of course is a spring bulb, and we have the crocus and the daffodils and things like that. Should be croci, right, if you're having a plural. And all sorts of stuff like that. And then there we go. It is now day 5. So I will have to tell you a little bit about more of the rest of those when I come back with episode 6. And I'll also get my bread made there, and we'll just have to go do a few more things. I mean, I am thriving and surviving and thriving, but haven't done any special build or anything, and I really don't. You can't fish over there. All right, so I have food. Put it in here, and we'll get a full episode out of this next round. So I will see you then in episode 6. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.